Super quick review of some Leatherman products I've reviewed in years past here in TMP. How about the Super Tool 300? Satin, black version. Check this out. I have never EDC'd that HDMT. Never. And I don't think you guys have either, because I've gear checked a lot of guys. And they don't have any multi-tool on them, especially a heavy duty one like a Super Tool 300. Then I reviewed, let's see, the Charge AL and TI series. This is, or was, a Cabela's only version. I think this is a Charge TTI, if I remember right. Dipped camouflage. Great tool. It's still my overall favorite MDMT. The Charge TI, Charge AL, they're all the same. Just love the Charge. So cool. And then we covered a whole bunch of juice variations. Here is the XE6 in purple. And this is a CS4. I cut off the corkscrew. I'm going to do it to that one as well. I don't use corkscrews. They just bulk, tiny bit of weight. Here is a Juice S2, my all-time favorite multi-tool. I have gear checked you guys, and you've had a Juice on you. A couple guys, not a lot. This is actually, I think, called Cinnabar Orange, this Juice. And by the way, I totally high-fived them. I was like, good job having an MT on you, man. Here's one of my Juices. It's always with me. So this is my S2. This is still my favorite version. Homemade sewn lanyard. So I was at a trade show recently. I have a mini Leatherman video I'll come out with sooner or later. And talking to some friends I have there at the company. Oh, by the way, here's the Sidekick. And as I predicted in that review, this has been a tremendous seller. That and the Wingman for Leatherman. Because I talk to these guys. I talk to manufacturers all the time and say, hey, what's selling, what's not selling? They say that continues to just fly out the doors. At the price point, I'm not surprised at all. Anyways, I'm talking to Todd there, who's been with Leatherman for a long time. Great dude. Love him. Big hunter. And he's like, oh, you got to totally check out the Leap. And I was like, not that little kid. You know, multi-tool. And he's like, yeah, but check it out. And I just, really, he just shoved it into my hands. And I was like, I'm really not interested, dude. I don't want to do a tabletop review. He's like, look at it, then talk to me. And so I did. And I got to tell you, I was wrong. And that's why I'm doing a tabletop review on it. The Leap is designed by Leatherman as a training multi-tool. And then when your kid gets, I don't know, responsible enough, you put the blade in it. It's a toolless attachment. You just snap the blade on, and then it's harder to take off, I guess. And that was the intent of it. I think it's going to find a market, and maybe this video can help a little bit, as a competitor to this, the Juice S2, because they're essentially the same weight. The Juice is 4.4 ounces. This is 4.6. So, like I said, this is an all-time favorite EDC multi-tool for me. Has been for years. But check this out. Here comes the Leap pliers. And remember, same weight, but look at the plier difference. Heavier duty. Right? Look at the thickness on the pliers. Cutting capabilities, probably a little bit more. I have out-taxed these in certain situations, like I've been out in the desert, I forgot a wrench, I'm setting up some steel targets, and I've used my Juice to tighten 3/4 inch nuts on the bolts before. Did it work great? Not great. Beat my hands, you know, using my hands, but it's just what you had to do to get the testing done. These are really good pliers, actually, on the Leap, and that's where my interest kind of started. I took them out, I was like, wow, those are like real pliers. You know, they're not some goofy kid pliers that you would think. They have a hardwire cutter, standard cutter here, standard gripping surface on the interior, and they seem to be high quality. Okay, so I was starting to get more interested. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Let's fold it back up and look at the exterior size of the Leap versus, just for the heck of it, the S2. The S2 is thinner, and that dimension for me in my everyday carry is primary, actually. That and weight. I want it to be thin, lightweight. I mean, if I put it in the fanny pack, I put this in a fanny pack, it just bulges it out. You know, you got that whole chipmunk with a mouthful of acorns look going on there. I don't want that. So you might want to consider that. It's a Leap too thick for your fanny pack. Oh wait, you guys don't wear them, so it doesn't matter. your pocket, it wouldn't matter. A little bit thicker. Exterior tools on the Leap. A saw. Now, it's kind of funny because it's meant for little kids, right? I can just see this being given to a 5-year-old boy, and he goes, saws on mom's furniture. Where in the heck did that saw mark come from? Then dad has to put this on a grinder and just get rid of the saw. I'm totally kidding, because you should train your children not to do certain things and attach consequences, so that he shouldn't be doing that. Little Billy shouldn't be doing it. So it has a saw in it. Is that super needed? Do I need that? No. The only time I really use a saw is when I go camping, backpacking, and even then it's rare. Maybe guys use it. I've said that before in my multi-tool reviews. Sheep's foot blade. Decent. And so there's no upsweep. This is just a total utilitarian blade, and that's the one you're going to snap on, I guess, with it. A lower quality steel. The steel's not premium, but consider the price point. Already went there. And a 2-dimensional Phillips driver with a cap lifter. I've always called these 2-dimensional. I guess that caught on. They're not 2-dimensional, but they're flattened. They do work. And I like how this one on the Leap has reach, and it does beat the S2 in that regard. I mean, look at the reach I have on my S2. Same weight, that's a better driver. Albeit I do have more of a 3-dimensional driver in this Phillips, right? This is how they lock, by the way. They fold out, just snap into place. Then you'll fold them like that. And if you're wondering, they do have skizzers. Nice! You have to fold that out and really lock it to deploy the spring bar, and then once you do, spring tension on the scissors, and they're good. They're actually pretty good scissors. So that's pretty good tool set, right, for the Leap. It comes in, by the way, blue, red, and green. All of them are excellent colors. I could be happy with any of them. Does it have an open architecture? Kind of. These are security torques. You can use a security, if I'm seeing it right, at least these are. Those might be riveted there. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't really tell. But these are security torques. You take that side off. Then we get into the interior of the tool. Nothing on that side. And I'm missing something right here. Here we go. Nail nicks are good. There's some tweezers. Would you use that? I didn't. Maybe you would. I don't use tweezers that much in a multi-tool. And when I do need a tweezer, I want it to be like a specific kind of tweezer. Super precise. There's a mini Phillips driver with, I guess, a wire stripper or something like that. And there's a flat bladed, or just a flat blade driver. And that's it. That's the Leap. There you go. All stainless steel, warranted for 25 years. Like I said, different colors. Worth it at price point $40. I went into Amazon, dude, $40 for a Leap. A great gift item. If you're wondering, hey, are you going to replace that and carry it instead of the S2? The absolute answer is no. I will not. The S2 is just so small and elegant. There's another dimensional look right there. And I like the blade a lot better on the S2 Juice right here. Here's a look at the orange one. They came out with this a few years ago. That's very cool. And the scissors on the Juice are just amazing for its size. I said that in the review way back in, I think, 2008 when I reviewed. I don't want to review this again, but just quick look-see tool set. But the Leap is cool. I mean, for the money, worth it. And I think it'll become, if it hasn't already become, a super great seller for Leatherman. That's a Nutnfancy review. See ya. Less than 10 minutes.